What's up, guys? As you can probably see with the title of the video, we're gonna go pick up the quad right now. Waiting on, we got Max coming in hot, and we got Trevor. They're abandoning me in the back seat to play Switch.
This is a GoPro moment, bro.
It's a GoPro moment?
You should have brought your GoPro so you don't have to hold the camera.
What's up, guys? This is that quad that we started the video off with. Now this is gonna be, I think, 2 days later and a little bit of work. I'm gonna go through and just explain all that we've done to it. This is a $100 quad, super cheap. The guy basically said, doesn't know what it is, don't know if it runs, just wanted it gone. I got a bill of sale off of him. He was super legit, super cool guy, and I'll explain to you what we did to get this running. Now, this quad runs extremely well, but it didn't when we bought it. The biggest issue we had is right here. It's kind of hard to see, but in that front brake, there's a brake switch. And what happened was that brake switch fell out, and so without that brake switch essentially catching that this is engaged, the ignition won't work, nothing will start. So we spent about maybe 10-15 minutes going through the wiring. It's a pretty simple harness. It's a really cheap one, so there was a lot of questionable things with it, but we got through there and we traced that to the ignition. Now this is the ignition right here. It's kind of hard to see, and you can see some splice wires, and I'll explain that in a second. So what this is essentially those brake lines run into this ignition and it won't start without it, like I said. So what we did, because we didn't have a key, is we mounted this beautiful contraption. So what this is that's a triple tree off of, I believe, a 98 YZF 6R. That bike was crashed, my neighbor bought it, and he just crashed his YZF 6 about a month ago, and he had all these spare parts that he didn't know what to do with. So we took this, cut the triple tree to fit the handlebars, and then just zip tied it in for now. We ended up taking it and cutting it into the ignition and essentially hot wiring the ATV. The other thing that we ended up having to do is that right there. So the carb itself was pretty bad. This simply was just unbolting 2 bolts, disconnecting the gas lines, which, let's see if I can find them. There we go. These were super, let's see if it'll focus, cheap gas lines that were falling apart. I went through, this is the same inner diameter, but a considerably better and larger outer diameter. We replaced the fuel lines on here and cleaned the carb. For the carb, I just used the brake cleaner, sprayed the jets, sprayed everything through. A quick little tip to anybody trying to clean carbs for cheap, for the jets on them. I went out to my grill scrubber and I just cut one of those strands off. And I took one of those metal strands and I just slowly slipped it through. Be careful with that because you don't want to damage the jet, but if you slowly take your time and clean it out, it'll just essentially release everything from the jet. Now the issue we had was that the main jet was fine, but the pilot is the one that was clogged. So we cleaned those jets out, put the carb back in there, and then we just temporarily have this other motorcycle battery hooked up. And as you guys can see, now remember this is $110 in with brake clean and hoses. And you see that? Perfectly idles. The quad runs amazing. So all it took was just hooking up a battery, cleaning the carb, and pretty much hot wiring it. This took about 2 days spread out. And I think the next thing we're gonna do is this battery is too big for this tray. So I'm gonna go buy just like a generic $20 battery for this quad. And then I think tomorrow I'm gonna go ahead and put the new battery in and put the fairings back on. Now the one issue we do have is you can see that these wires are super short. So what I'll probably end up doing is I'll end up just making those wires longer so we can actually have a proper battery mount that's a little safer than some cardboard blocking it from grounding. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down below. But yeah, that's a $100 quad right there. Please like, subscribe, and then I also have a Twitter that I'll